Hi Stampers, I'm Meg from LovenStamps and this is Maker Mornings with Meg. So I have a Monday morning project for you. I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving and that you enjoyed your celebration time and maybe even made some of those little like Thanksgiving table favors. Leave a comment if you did. I actually, well, you guys saw I made them last Wednesday on our video. I made them for our table. So anyway, I hope it was a really nice chance to have some special time yourself or together or whatever you did. So we are going to switch back to Christmas today since we're kind of moving on towards the holiday. And in case you haven't gotten your Christmas card sorted out or you're looking for an idea for next year, today's card is over the top. So it is for traditional red and green Christmas lovers with a little bit of gold bling mixed in there, and it definitely will be a big pleaser. So we are going to use, I saw that Tanya. Tanya says, happy downhill slide to Christmas. You've got plenty of time, weeks and weeks. Anyway, we're going to use a Stampin Blends. We're going to use Brushed Metallic Cardstock. We're going to make a gatefold version of this, and I'm going to give you all the tips for sort of making the most of it, and as well as how to use the Merriest Moments stamp set and the hybrid embossing folder and dies that go with this. So, and I just realized I didn't grab my Stampin Blends markers, so I'll grab those today. Let's see, I think. That's cherry cobbler. I want real red. This is real red. Yep, okay, real red and old olive, evening evergreen, and soft succulent. Did I use soft succulent? Nah, I think I just use evening evergreen. Okay, so you'll get to see that. I do love these. Sometimes I get asked about the Stampin' storage stuff, and I really do love those, so super handy. All right, so we've got our markers set aside. The next thing we're going to do is we are going to cut the gold foil part. Well, actually, we're going to emboss it because I've already cut it. So I have Brushed Metallic Cardstock that I cut with the detailed die. Here it is from Merriest Moments, and in case you're wondering, because it actually says hybrid embossing folder in the book, but it is the dies and the folder that come together. And so I've got this one like this already cut, and before I change our camera angle to go down, I'm going to show you the embossing folder part so you can see that, and I'll give you a quick reminder on the folder sandwich for that. But I'm going to take this, and this one doesn't cut a hole in the center. You have to add to it this separate die, which is really nice. I love the flexibility and the choices that you get by having those as two separate pieces. So I went ahead and cut both of these pieces, which ends up with this one in a hole. And here is my embossing folder, and you'll find that when you open this up, there's going to be one direction where it lines up perfectly, which is not that direction. So I'll flip it around like this. And when I get it exactly lined up where I want it, sometimes I think it actually helps to look through from the backside. Can you see how if it's just a little off, you can see it really well from the backside to make sure it's in place. And then I'm just going to pinch it shut. You can go ahead and put a piece of washi tape on there if you're finding that it's sliding, so that you can do that. And I swear it looks like it's slid a little bit already. So maybe I am gonna put washi tape on mine. But one of the great things is that since the embossing folders are so relatively clear, or translucent, you can see through them. So, all right, so for your die cutting sandwich, you're gonna take away the two cutting plates because you're not gonna use regular cutting plates. You're gonna take away the other, the thin die adapter, that's the really tiny one, and you're gonna leave on the big, thick sandwich piece, the base, and then you're going to do this with your specialty plate. This specialty plate isn't blue in the catalog right now, it's gray and it's opaque. So if you're like, I can't find the blue one, Meg, you're gonna go ahead and do this. So basically I have my big plate, my folder, and my specialty plate. Make sure that didn't move, and I'm just gonna run that through. Now, if you have used your Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine before, you know what it should feel like. It should not feel like you're working super hard to crank through there. So if you are, like, just take a break, think about your sandwich, figure out if you have an extra layer in there that you shouldn't have, and then here is the big reveal. Our little die cut piece now is totally dimensional and absolutely gorgeous. So I am a huge fan of the way these pieces go together. So, and I didn't say good mornings. So, hey, Cindy and Kathy and Sally and Debbie and Sue and Terry and Kathy and Sue and Jody and Tanya and Kathy and Deborah, Sandra. Okay, I think I got it right, Trish. Anyway, hi guys. Okay, I'm gonna flip my camera down this direction, and I used my camera stand for taking family photos over the weekend, so it's all out of whack this morning, but we'll get it sorted out here. All right, so let me get this set here so we can see. All right, there we go. All right, so our cards, our pieces here, we have our really, really gorgeous frame. I feel like you guys are far away too. Let me maybe move you down a little closer. How's that? A little bit better? All right. Pardon my arms in the middle of the frame. Let's see. I also got a new phone. My old phone was failing. So I got a new phone, which means like I'm trying to get everything all organized here with a new phone and stuff. It's a little different. Okay, so we have our pieces here. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and start coloring. And you're going to find that there are some differences here between the way Stampin' Blends work on regular cardstock and the way Stampin' Blends work on, let's see, maybe I'm just gonna use my dark one for the olive. That one seems not to be in great repair. So you're gonna find there's some differences with the way that the Stampin' Blends work on here. They don't saturate the paper because of the metallic cardstock the way they do with the white or the other paper. So with those, Stampin' Blends markers actually penetrate the paper and they saturate the fibers, and you end up with a really different effect. When you're working with these, you're gonna find that the color sits on top and sort of layers itself but doesn't blend. So I'm gonna show you kind of how that works. So, all right, so I've got some olive on there. You can, like I said, you can make it darker by relayering and going on the same spot again. Once it dries, you can add more color over the top. Let's grab, some of the real red. So I've got my real red dark marker here, and I'm gonna find the berries. I don't know about you guys, but I always feel like when I color an image, I really like kind of connect with it and have a much better understanding of where all the pieces are. Okay, and the place it's gonna show the most, so I'm gonna show off this, is on the Evening Evergreen color. So I am gonna color my holly leaves with the first step, and then I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna add a second layer with the darker, and you'll be able to really see the difference. Now, you also probably noticed I'm being really careful not to color on the frame part here, okay? Because I don't want to interrupt that pretty gold color. I want that gold frame to stay gold and go all the way around, okay? All right, and this works on all of the Brushed Metallic Cardstock colors. I think the Brushed Metallic Cardstock is on low inventory or back order right now. So if you don't have any yet and you're thinking you want some, I suggest you order very shortly, because on December 1st, Stampin' Up! Is gonna go to their new policy, which is you can't order until something is actually in stock. So they're gonna turn off and not take back orders of things. So I totally understand and support why they're doing that. It just makes a lot of sense not to have endless back orders. But if you wanted to sort of get this in the ordering queue, make sure you order before December 1st, because that's when they'll switch to that new system. And if it's out of stock, then you won't be able to order it at all. As opposed to now, if it's on back order already, you can order it and it'll just ship when it comes in. So if you don't mind waiting. So, okay. So there we have our pieces. I love, actually, this is really, what do you guys think? I think this new camera is really working well. Let's see. Oh, and hi, Dallas. Good morning. Tanya says Dallas was in the room when she was listening the other day. And when I said hi to everybody, it sounded like Romper Room. So yeah, you know, Romper Room, we are a community together. So anyway, I'm going to go back now with my darker of my Evening Evergreen. And I'm going to color the places in the center where I would normally add shadow lines. So in the center of each of the holly leaves, sort of that stem, maybe you could do a little bit where you would add some shadowing a little bit maybe. But mostly I'm going to stick to the center because it really doesn't blend. Can you guys see? I think you can see that pretty well actually. It really doesn't blend. It stays on top, but it does give you some nice texture and some nice shading to your pieces. So can you guys see that color going on there? I think this camera is much better than my old one. So let's see. I got an iPhone 13, like woohoo! I had kind of an older one before, so this is a big perk, but all right. So can you guys see that? Let me bring it up really close. I think you can see that. So you can see where the lines are in the shading. Like I said, oh, I think we need some green under our holly berries here. Like I said earlier, the color doesn't blend like it does on paper. It's just gonna sit on top, but it is a really, really pretty effect. And you can do this on any of the cardstock. So, all right, you ready to see the rest of our pieces for this card? Let us bring in our stamps. I've got my Real Red ink pad, and I'm gonna go ahead and stamp us some poinsettias. I'm trying to remember where I was. There was a big discussion recently about how you're supposed to say poinsettia instead of poinsettia. I don't know. I'm not a horticulturist or a botanist, so I'm not really sure, but it is printed as poinsettia, so I suppose maybe. Anyway, I'm gonna take those two, and along with these fabulous dies that we use to cut this part, there are dies for a big background, there are dies for holly leaves. This is a great die set. There are also dies for these little flowers, and so through the magic of television, I've got them cut out. And then we are going to also need a white layer that's going to fit in the center. So this is 2 1/4 by 3, I think. And we're going to go ahead and stamp this greeting. I love the greetings from Merriest Moments. Some really great choices there, including the ones that we did for like our little greetings. So the directions for this project are included in my November LovenStamps Tutorials. And these are really cute table favors. So all kinds of fun ideas for those. And together is the merriest place to be. Absolutely perfect for gatherings for the holidays. So I'm gonna go ahead and ink this up and stamp this to the right of center. Okay, there we go. So there's our thinking of you this fabulous season. And then I'm gonna bring in one more green because I really want to, I'm going to use these holly leaves, and I really want to bring in the olive. Here's some cardstock so you can kind of see the way these really go together. So this is old olive on gold from our Stampin Blends, but it's still really right there in the green family, the same green. So you really get a nice effect and like lots of matchy projects and so forth. So let's see. Somebody asked, oh, Tanya asked if the penguin punches back. Yes, the penguin punches back. The turtle punches back. I looked this morning and there were no punches on the, no punches that I saw on the back order list. So, all right, so we're gonna use old olive. We're gonna add some greenery kind of up here to the side. I'm not gonna worry that these are not like related to each other because we're gonna cover most of that up, okay? All right. So, working now to put our card together. Oh, you know what? I think we're going to do an inside of our card too. So let's go ahead and add some flowers here for the inside. You guys know I'm a big fan of stamping inside our card. So we'll do a little bit and maybe some smaller ones. I love when images kind of pop off the edge of the cardstock. So it looks like, you know, they're just cut out of a bigger piece that just happened to be the perfect edge for this card. And I'm gonna pop these green. I really like these little dots. I know they're maybe supposed to be yellow if you're a botanist, but I kind of like them in green and the way they kind of come together with the red and green. So this is gonna be inside our card. All right, so our card base here is 4 1/4 by 11, and I have scored it at 2 3/4 inches from each side, which basically gives us a gatefold there in the center. You can use your simply scored board, which I usually use all the time for things like this, or you could use your paper trimmer too. Usually somebody asks me how I decide whether I'm gonna use my simply scored board or my paper trimmer. And the honest answer to that is that if I'm doing one of something, I usually have a go at my trimmer. But if I'm gonna be doing a whole bunch of something or I have many score lines to do on a project, then I like my simply scored board because it's so much faster to not have to like move the paper and like think each time. So, all right, so we have our gatefold card. And we're going to, let's do our inside assembly first. So I've got my seal and I'm just gonna go ahead and pop some on the center here and place this inside our card. And then I like, we're gonna have a lot of bling on the front, so I like to add bling inside. So I've just got this tiny slip of the same Brushed Metallic Cardstock that we've used on the front. And so I'm gonna go ahead and pop some glue on here. Now, a tip to keeping your fingers ungluey is to not put glue where your fingers are going. So I'm gonna leave my holding spot here in the center rather than at the end so that I can glue all the way to the end. So now I know that I can take this and I'm holding it in my like gluey, ungluey handle spot so that I don't have to worry about getting glue on my fingers, because then that tends to drive you a little bit crazy. So, all right, woo, it's all moving. There we go. All right, so there is our piece there. I'm just gonna give it a second or two because it doesn't grab instantly. There we go. All right, and then we're gonna go to the front of our card. So this piece is going to overlap the center, and I love having fun overlaps like this because they just really make the card festive from the inside. But I wanted to make this a little sturdier. I didn't really want it to be like loose like this. So we added a piece of old olive cardstock under here. This is 3 by 4. And again, all the cutting directions and photos and stuff are in the tutorials, the PDF tutorials that you get for free if you place an order in my online store in November, or available in my Etsy shop. And the link to information on both of those is in the video description. So, okay, so then we're gonna place this on here. We're gonna actually add in our greeting underneath. So let's do that first. And I'm gonna show you my tip for putting these frames together. So I've got this here, and easily pretty much on the back, you can see where the center part is because you can go see around the edge. And then I'm gonna go ahead and take my dimensionals and place them judiciously where they overlap the edge of our white element and also attach to the fancy stuff on the front. So let's see there. And I think actually, let's see, I'll maybe put one more over here like that. Okay, so you can kind of see how that works. If you, I didn't get one kind of on this corner. Yeah, that's fine. It's not really gonna go anywhere, but I'll add one more over there. Okay, so you guys can see how that goes. And then you can put one more in the center if you'd like, but I'm not gonna worry about it too much. But now is when it's really great that we have an extra layer that goes under our card, because we can easily see that those dimensionals need to stick to something. So, all right, so I'm gonna kind of center this on here. There we go. Always smush from the back side of anything stamped or colored or whatever. And then this is going to layer here on the front of our card. And you can see where this traditional red and green and bling and stuff all comes together so beautifully. Now, to attach this flap, you definitely want to use a strong adhesive. Your choices are Stampin' Seal Plus, tear tape, or multi-purpose liquid glue, okay? When you have panels like this that are like extra moving or something that someone's gonna grab a lot, you just don't want your card to come apart. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my Seal Plus because it is my speedy adhesive, and I'm putting adhesive only on the side of the card that's going to contact the front, okay? I don't want to seal my card shut. That's not nice. So I've got it just on one side, like I said, smush from the back side, get that adhesive down. Any adhesive, if you just kind of like tap something and throw it on there, it's not going to give you a great bond. So always kind of burnishing from the back side is a great way to make sure your adhesive layers are really well stuck down. Okay, so now you can kind of see our card coming together, but we need to do our embellishment up over here. So I've got these layers here still, and I'm going to pop a Stampin' Dimensional. I'm just going to stick it in the center of this flower and pop this on. And I kind of like to offset the blooms like that. And then this is going to go down here on the corner of our card. So you could use a dimensional or not. I'm going to go ahead and add a dimensional just for kicks. And then we've got an embellishment to add to this. We're not quite done yet. So let me set this here. I don't want to overlap my text, but I want to make sure my holly and stuff is tucked in, excuse me, for like the festive greenery look. And then we've got our gold holly leaves, which I did see. Oh, look, I have more pieces cut in here. This is a great place to store your cut pieces. I did see that these are on back order. So again, just like the Brushed Metallic Cardstock, if you would like holly leaves and you don't want to have to kind of watch, like Tanya was saying, watching for the thing to order, then now is a good time to order them, and they'll just sit on back order until they're available. Now, I've showed several times how you can color these. I don't know if you remember this card here. This is one of the ones that's a card kit to go. So when you order at least $50 from me in a month, then you actually get 2 kits in the mail ready to go. And so these are the holly leaves that are colored. And those I colored with the Stampin Blend Marker, Evening Evergreen. So those are there. But I kind of like them this gold color. So this card is quite blingy. So we're going to go ahead and use them as is. And I have found that my favorite way to attach these, pardon me as I stand up and scoot my chair, favorite way to attach these is with mini glue dots. I don't know, the green glue, multi-purpose liquid glue takes a little while to grab with them. So, all right, so I'm gonna take this and pop one kind of under here and stick that down, and then I'm going to take another one. The holly leaves are little, so I'm going to go ahead and sort of fold my mini glue dot like a taco so that it fits under there. Okay. All right, and there is another one. Okay. So there you have your fun thing. So if you wanted to continue to bling it, you could of course add like wonderful gems or rhinestones, champagne rhinestones, all kinds of fun things. But you can really see how that Brushed Metallic Cardstock is super pretty with the Stampin Blends Markers. It's just an outstanding combination. So don't think that just because your metallic paper is silver or gold or whatever that you're limited. You can always color that paper. I'm thinking like unicorn cards and all kinds of stuff where the metallic foil is colored with silver and purple and turquoise. Whatever colors you have for your Stampin' Blends are a good choice. So if you are thinking that you would like stamping supplies for Christmas, you can let your family know that they can reach out to me by email or Facebook Messenger or whatever. And I am always happy to issue gift certificates. So they can be used on any of the things that I offer. So keep in mind, if people are like, what would you like for Christmas? Oh, I'd like a gift certificate from Meg. So anyway, so here's one of our 4 cards this month. I showed you this one earlier. And then there's this one, which we did, was a fun way to use that embossing folder in the background. And then finally our table favors here, which really give you some fun possibilities for holiday tables or little treats or things along those lines. So anyway, one of the great things about these kinds of projects that I do each month is that these supplies are curated to go together. So you know that we'll be able to make a variety of projects with one limited set of supplies. So you can learn more about that on my website at LovenStamps under the Join the Club Perks Points information. So, all right, let's see. Okay, I'm kind of pleased with this new camera. It is really bright, brighter than I would have anticipated. So I hope you guys are good. If the sound was weird or anything, make sure you let me know so that I can kind of update that for next time. And great, I'm glad you guys liked the card. It was good to see you on this Monday morning. My kids were like, oh my gosh, we had to go to school for a whole week this week. Yes, yes. But that gives us, you know, time to be stamping and do all the things. Lots of fun possibilities left to do between now and the holidays. So definitely let me know if you have any questions. Links are in the video description for all of the supplies for this. And we are going to be back on Wednesday with another project. So lots of holiday helper ideas for you. I always put some hashtags in the video description too. And you can use those hashtags to find other LovenStamps projects, Maker Mornings with Meg projects, of which this is number 220. So that's a lot of stamping ideas. And I try to group things for you. So you can find easily the other Merriest Moments projects by going through and just clicking the hashtag for that there on my page, or you can also visit my website, which has a number of galleries available for all kinds of things. You'll be able to see them kind of all laid out for you in order there. So, all right. Thank you guys for being part of our stamping community this morning. That is something that I am amazingly thankful for, is you guys, this fabulous group of people who get together to share some sunshine and inspiration, and just get to say hello and visit with each other. So over the past year and a month or so, I guess, it's gotten to be kind of a fun group. So, all right, everyone. Have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you again on Wednesday. Happy stamping. Oh, actually, one more thing. If you're thinking, okay, Meg, I really do want all of the things you've ever showed, definitely consider getting the demonstrator starter kit. So you can get it today or tomorrow at the discounted price of $75, because then it'll be back to normal at $99. But it is an amazing offer and gives you access to our stamping demonstrator communities, the communities that we have on Facebook, the things we do online. We have holiday parties coming up. If you're a LovenStamps demonstrator and you haven't seen the information about the holiday party and the upcoming card swap, make sure that you check Facebook for that information on our team groups too. So, all right, guys, have a fabulous day, and I'll see you on Wednesday. Happy stamping.